what's up, my brothers and sisters of the left-hand path? I'm J.S. Garrett, and I'm here with my good friend, Daemon Drauga. We're going to talk about his experiences and workings with Belial specifically, as well as the third eye opening oil that he has created, which I've personally used and I totally endorse. It absolutely works, and I love my experience with it. So what's up, Daemon? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, and I want to say thank you and for allowing me to come on here. And I've been waiting to do this podcast for a very long time now. Uh, and it is an honor. It is an honor to be able to do this with you.
It's
So I just
you on, man. Like really. I've followed your workings since you came on the scene several years ago, and you hit me up a while back. It's been like 2 years ago. You hit me up and said, "Hey, man, I created this third eye opening oil. Like, I want to send you some and just have you experiment with it, use it, and just let me know if it works. Let me know if it's good, you know." And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down with that. And so you sent it to me in the mail. I still have half a bottle of it because I've used more than half of it. And yeah, I really liked it. Not only does it smell good, but it works good. And so the first experiment that I did with it is I took some like I charged it. I charged it with a specific intention. I dripped like 6 drops in the palm of my hand, and I was like, third eye oil, I activate you in the name of Belial for the purpose of this. And then I smeared it all over my third eye, my forehead, and then I put it on my wrists, and then I took the rest of it and I smeared it all over my chest on my master key that I have tattooed on my chest, and then went straight into a ritual with it. And I'll tell you, man, like when I started the ritual, I started feeling a tingling on my forehead. I felt a tingling on my wrists, and then I felt a tingling on my chest. And call me crazy, but it seemed to amplify and enhance the working that I was doing. So the fact that you called it third eye opening oil, like I really felt like that enhanced the working that I was doing, which was 100% successful. The working that I did when I did that.
Oh
And
yeah.
I've used it so many times since that I'm like I said, I've got like a little less than half left in the bottle. So I mean, can you elaborate on what the what the fuck, man? Like, what did you do to create this oil, and what was your intention behind it?
So so I had when I was trying to open my third eye, it all started with me trying to find a tool to help me, and so I was like, I need something. I need a tool. So I said, okay, I'm a test my abilities, and I'm gonna create this oil. And what I did was I didn't necessarily use any elements besides olive oil, clear quartz powder. I think maybe copper powder too. I forget. I didn't write it down. And lavender. What I did was I activated the lavender for the intentions of empowering and cleansing the third eye. And I put that emotion in it. And then after that, I was like, I'm gonna do magic. I didn't use any tools. I did magic without tools, and I created I envisioned a light bulb, like a spear of light above my head, and then I invoked it. And when I did that, I filled myself up with this energy. And then I've made a spear in the middle between my hands. And then I created a blazing ray, I guess I could say. And I put it in the middle of my hands like this. And as I'm focusing, I'm scrying into the center here, and I just blast a ray of power into the oil with the intentions of amplifying the third eye and overall just amplifying your magic and making things easier. Um, and I made a little meditation with the amethyst crystal, and I think I wrapped the bottle with yours with an amethyst crystal on it. Um, and what I did there is I made a mantra for amethyst, and it was AM, so it was just vibrating AM, and I was imagining like I was. What that does is it amplifies the crystal to its apex state of energy, and then I will move that energy into the third eye oil too to
So
empower.
I mean, it sounds like you're doing a lot of energetic transference from yourself
Yes, yeah,
into this product. Which,
yes.
I mean, I think a lot of people, they're just like, oh, energy work. Blah. Yeah, everybody does energy work. Blah. But no, like some of the most intense rituals and some of the most intense spell workings with the most insane results that I've done have been through simple like candle magic energy work,
Hmm.
where I focus on a specific intention and raise my kundalini energy and push it out of my hands towards something. All right, towards a specific outcome, a specific intention. And so, I mean, it almost sounds like, to me, magic is a martial art. It really
Yeah.
is. Magic is a martial art. And every form of martial arts that I've studied over my 40 years of studying martial arts, it all comes back to energy work. Some call it chi, some call it
Yeah.
prana, you
Yeah.
know, a lot of different words for it. But being able to really push your energy with a specific intention in mind into something turns it into a magic product.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's what you've done here with this oil. And I will say that it works very well. I don't endorse many people or many products, but your third eye oil works very well. And once I run out, once I finish using the last little bit of the bottle that I have, I'll be ordering some more, purchasing some more from you. So while we're on that subject, where can people hit you up to get a hold of some of this?
Well, first I want to announce um, our website. And if
Okay.
you go on Google and you type in creatorsintheflesh.com, then that's how you access the website. But instead of spelling creators with an O, it's CREATORS, it's an E. So replace that O with an E, because that's the domain that I have.
All right.
Anyway, so it's more like create. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but so if you type that in, then that's how you access the link.
All right.
Um, but
Well,
you cannot buy anything on
link.
that link.
I'm sorry. You send me the link and I'll put it in the description of the video.
Yeah, we can do that. But for right now, what the way you can contact creators in the flesh and buy our products or even hire us for rituals is we have a page for on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll send that to you as well.
Okay.
But that's how you can contact us. I have a WhatsApp number. It's linked to my Facebook too. So
Yeah, I'll definitely put that in the video description. And Dude, hats off to you for making like a successful magical product. Like I've used it, I've tested it. I I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's fucking
The
great. That's great.
thing that I want to ask you about is your workings with Belial, your path working with Belial, and your experiences in path working with Belial.
Um, so my path working, I tried. Well, when I first contacted Belial, it was within Connor's book, The Black Magician's Handbook. He suggested to contact Belial first in the way of sigil magic, connecting consciousness is speaking through the conscious, like consciousness to consciousness. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. So I called Belial, and that was like the path working started then. It was the first time I contacted Belial, um, and he was teaching me. Well, he was telling me and showing me automatically what I needed to work on, and he was like, um, "You need to work on your vocabulary." And I was like, "Okay, all
I,
right."
dude, like he gives the gift of gab.
Yeah, yeah, and he automatically was like, "Vocabulary, work on it now." And then I was like, "All right." Uh, I knew I needed to work on that, but I didn't really put my full potential in working into it. But since I have, my vocabulary has expanded with the guidance and help of Belial. And my path working started during this time when I almost manifested Belial at this time, fully in smoke, doing the intense method. Is like, you get charcoal disc and you create a triangle for evoking him, and you fill your room up with smoke, and you kind of probably heat it up a little bit too, so you get that heat in there. And I started chanting his incantation and going deep into trance, scrying into the air, or creating that ball that you just scry into. Um, and so, or if you want to call it the invisible dot. Anyway, I seen the smoke, but I seen three heads. I seen three heads. I seen an outline, an aura of three heads. It was just one, and then it was like boom, then boom, and then boom. And I was getting deeper, and I was getting deeper, and then I just stopped. I just stopped. And then in my, like, I heard his voice using, like, I think he was influencing my thoughts, or like, my inner, like, I heard a deeper voice saying, "Why'd you stop? You almost was there," fully manifesting in the smoke. And he started talking to me about, like, on different experiences about I was trying to contact him about the Scorpion Temple, and trying to dabble into his aspect of being the Scorpion King, or the Scorpion God. And it's crazy because when I was working, uh, I started working with the Egyptian current, working with Egyptian gods and entities. And with one book that I was reading, there is where I was like, who is the Scorpion God? And then I was asking Nephthys, who's the Scorpion God? And the first thought that came into my mind was Belial. I was like, of course, Belial is the Scorpion God. He is the Scorpion God. So my path working is dabbles more into the many different aspects and into the current of Belial. And so with dabbling into it, I learned so many different aspects and ways of who he is, if that makes sense. Um, I also have some experiences, and because Bilal, he speaks to me in many different ways. I'm sure he does to you. Uh, and one of the ways is Belial speaks through other people. He
Yes,
speaks to others.
absolutely.
Um, and that is what I like to say is the all is mind. So recently, well, yeah, recently, there's this dude. He's a salesman. He's a car salesman, and his name's Andy Elliott, and he's pretty big right now. Lives in Arizona, and Bilal brought this man to me because I've been seeking something. I've been seeking my destiny, something that I needed to be, and I didn't know that. And when you so everyone has this within their black flame, this hidden potential, and this thing like their hidden this thing that they seek. And some people may seek something, but they truly don't know what they're seeking or what they need. And so this need, I like to call it the drive, that's within that black flame of yours. And Bilal will grab that drive and he will pull it to the surface, either either influencing someone else or in a different way. But he'll grab that drive and then he'll show you by using what he did to me is by using someone else. And it's funny because this man, his standards, because I didn't have no standards. I didn't have really any standards. I was still trying to find my standards and my principles in order to apply my standards within my life using principles. And by this dude called Andy Elliott, his standards is very left-hand path. Very. Because all he talks about is your mind is everything, yourself is everything, your spiritual path is everything, and your wife is everything. And until you can focus on these things and have unstoppable confidence and believing in yourself, he's talking about do what you say you're going to do. Because if you don't do what you say you're going to do, then you will not trust you anymore, if that makes sense. So pretty much it's what he's saying is, if you lie, if you say, hey, listen, tomorrow I'm gonna wake up at 6 o'clock and I don't wake the fuck up at 6 o'clock, I won't begin to trust myself to do that or to do certain things. And for me, it's really true because I told myself I was going to do so much in the past couple of years, and I didn't do it. And so now now I have to fix that. You know what I mean? But Bilal was telling me, take his standards, invert his standards, and create your own standards. So okay, so I said, okay, Bilal. If you were to look at Bilal, what would Bilal's standards be? If he was a man or something, what is his standards? You know what I mean?
I think
I think
Bilal standards would be of the utmost highest standards that one could put upon themselves. And
yeah.
so the main thing that Belial, working with Belial, has taught me is how to turn my inherent weaknesses into strengths.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you that question. What inherent supposed weaknesses were you born with that Belial has taught you how to turn into a strength? Like, I have friends, black magicians, friends that are black magicians that were born with autism, that were born with physical disabilities, mental disabilities, or fucking like horrible traumas that were inflicted upon them as children. And Belial has been their guide and their teacher along the left hand path in order to teach them how to take their disadvantages, their disabilities, their inflictions, their traumas, and turn them into strengths in order to become a juggernaut
Mm-hmm.
upon the left hand path. So, what does this resonate with you at all?
Yeah, yeah. But before I say anything, did you see that thumb that popped up on the screen?
No,
No?
I was
That's
jabbering. I wasn't looking.
that is well, there's this big ass thumb and it kept so this is one of the things is Bilal fucking speaks to fucking technology, man. I'm telling you this because me and my wife will FaceTime on the phone and there would be this fucking thumb, just emoji thumb in a bubble, and there's like one bubble, two bubble, three, and that third bubble is a big ass thumb inside the bubble, and it just pops up, and it just popped up too, as you said, as you were asking me what contribute, like, do I resonate with that? It's crazy.
Were you born
But
with any disadvantages?
yes, yes. Uh, so I couldn't learn. One of the disadvantages is first I have ADHD. Okay, second, I couldn't learn like the other kids could. And so I got, I was made fun of by this and they put me in special ed and I have anger issues. I had a lot of anger issues. So that led to rebellion and me not being able to learn in school. Um, but not only that is I ruminate or uh, yeah, I ruminate a lot. You know what that word means? Like, you
No,
know what that it's
ruminate.
yeah, it's where I would think of a scenario. Okay. And I'll continue to proceed with this scenario that had never happened, or a scenario that happened in the past, and I sit there and think, what could I have done better? You know? And it fucks with my normal state of thinking. And that's one of the other disadvantages that I have. And Belial shows me how to transmute that into a into power, to use my disadvantages and feel my black flame to empower myself. If that, if that resonates with you at all.
It does.
Um,
Yeah.
and the way he's doing that, because I'm trying to eliminate this rumination. I mean, I'm trying to eliminate it. And I'm trying to focus. And the way I do this is focusing on staying in the present moment, focusing on staying where the fuck my feet are. My feet's right underneath me. And what that means is that I'm right here in this moment. So this is where I need to be. And and this Andy Elliott guy, his standards, he's really helping me. And Belial is using that because this dude literally is like, he's like a catalyst of Belial's energy. Because he's real hardcore, just like Belial would be. And so those are the disadvantages that I have that I can transmute or invert or even just eliminate, but overall to empower my black flame. Um,
When you say
so
black flame, when you say black flame, because I know people in the audience who watch this, they're going to ask, what does he mean by black flame?
yeah, what I mean by black flame, I know there's a lot of different people have different beliefs on what the black flame is, or they think different.
Mhm.
Uh, according to different path workings or different systems of path workings, like the draconian path working, or that type of system, the black flame could be considered the breath of the dragon, or the fire of the dragon. And that does lead into my path working with Belial is it's very draconian, reptilian, draconian, um, and
Like the black flame might be your actual soul.
it's the inner potential. It's
Uh,
that fire, it's that spark of your most powerful inner potential. You know, it's I would say the spark of evolution within the individual, the will of the individual, the true will, and that's essentially what I would say the black flame is. And that's when I say the black flame, that's what I mean. I take my disadvantages within myself, and I will. I mean, I'll even put a fucking meditation on it to where if I'm having a hard time or I'm ruminating, then I'll just sit the fuck down and I'll think of all that thought in that scenario, and I'll start breathing, and then I would move it all the way into the center of my chakra, my solar plexus chakra, because that's where I see the black flame to be. And I'll envision that black flame, and I will, when I breathe, according to my breath, is as if I'm breathing through the black flame, like I am the black flame essentially, and that's how I'm breathing. And what I'll do is when I inhale, I will, like when I exhale, I'll expand the flame, and then when I inhale, I'll suck all the disadvantages into it, and that I will use as a fuel, and then I'll give an intention like or a affirmation like stay in the present moment, or I am in the present moment, or say something so I can get that there. But that's just a little meditation that I would create and do myself just to help me transmute that, or feel the black flame. And just overall, the black flame is just that, that inner potential, that your power. It's your power. It's your light. Anyway.
Would you say that Belial is one's ultimate guide upon this left-hand path that truly shows you how to turn your weaknesses into strengths and ultimately turn your disadvantages into advantages in your everyday life?
Yeah. I think Belial is that general. That I would say the elite. He's he's the elite, the hardcore one that will, yes.
Ultimate badass.
Yes, the ultimate badass, the one that can teach you accordingly, like according to your weaknesses. He will teach you to turn those into strengths, but not just strength, but like he will, like limitless strength, like endless and infinite strength and power, I would say. And here's the thing, what I with my standards I'm applying into my life, there's only 3 standards that I've created, and that is be Belial. You have a limitless mindset. Okay? And then the second one is I'm still, because I wrote them down, you know what I mean? So I don't have it to where it's like remembered, ingrained into my brain.
Give it to us in your own words.
So the second one is essentially it's pretty much you're 1%. You are the 1%. Okay? And this will lead, and that's what it is. The second one is the 1%. And what I mean by that is if you look at a penny is worthless, right?
Yeah.
So how about we multiply that penny 1,000 times? You will get more, right? So therefore, as a 1%er, and understanding that I am worthless to the 99% of the population, Understanding this, then I get to grow 1% better every fucking day, and it's multiplying the self. And so that's essentially the second. To keep it short, the second standard is you're the 1%, or you're the 1%er. And then the third one is you are a demon, and I like that because the way I see a demon is turning your pain into passion, and your passion into pleasure. Your pain could be your insecurities. It could be anything that hinders you. It can be, um, your disadvantages. But you turn that fucking shit into passion, right? Into your fucking passion, whatever your passion is. Whether that's your passion for mundane business, or even your spiritual life. Fuck it, just apply that shit to both, your mundane and spiritual. That's what I do. But you turn that pain into passion, that passion into pleasure. And that's the you are a demon. I think that's I see demon as a very powerful aspect of oneself.
Your demon self, your shadow self.
Yes.
And yes,
Yeah. Exactly.
my pain and my trauma has been the number one thing that has driven me to become the man, black magician that I have become
Mm-hmm.
along this left-hand path, upon this fucked up path that is our reality and this life that I did not ask for. I was shut out and forced to live. So,
Oh
yeah, I think I understand what you're saying.
yeah. You did ask me, do you think Belial would be that the powerful figure in people's lives spiritually, to turn their I would say pain into, like, to turn their pain into their strengths, or their disadvantages into strengths. I would say not everyone can handle Belial's energy,
I agree with that. Definitely not.
because Belial is he's very heavy, and he's very hard.
Yeah.
Some people he's not too hard on. I mean, I'm just saying that because I hear some people and they're saying that Belial is not that hard on me. He does things a little different, but Belial can be a father figure within your life.
I'll say I agree with you there. Like Belial is very masculine. He is like the embodiment of masculinity,
Mm-hmm.
and he is he tends to be very different with women than he is with men. All right. So the women that I've worked with, as far as making contact with Belial and working with Belial, they're just like, oh, he is like so loving and so kind and so gentle. I was afraid of him. I was terrified of Belial. And then once I finally evoked him, I was just like, oh, daddy. Belial is daddy. And then when it comes to men, like men, it's like, man, he kicked my fucking ass, and he fucking said, fucking straighten up, you pussy, blah blah blah. Like, dude, Belial engages people in the way that they need to be engaged. In my case, Belial was very hard on me. All right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I needed. That's what I
Yeah.
need. And that's why I call Belial Daddy. That's why I have his sigil tattooed on my back. I'm not going to disrobe and take my shirt off and show you. But yeah, I have his sigil tattooed on my back. But Belial.
I have this. I'm saying I have a scissor right here.
Okay, so you already know, bro. You already know, and I think Belial engages people in the way that they need to be engaged by Belial in order to
Mhm.
in order to fucking rock them and wake them up and advance them to the next level on the left hand path. He does seem to be much kinder with females,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're like every female that I know of that works with Belial is totally seduced and beguiled by him. All
yeah.
right. So it's like he's so masculine. He's so masculine and so fucking strong and badass that like if you're a man and you're not living up to what it is to be a man, he is going to grab you by the balls and force you to be. And if you are a woman, then he's going to protect you and elevate you, and he's going to treat you according to how he
Sees fit, I would say.
sees fit. That's what I was looking for. Sees fit.
Yeah.
Like like to me, dude, Belial is he's an ancient. He's the Lord of beasts in the earth. He is the God of this world, and I mean, like all my path workings have began with Belial. He was the very first ancient god that I made contact with successfully, and he has been my guide along every single path working that I've done. And like, he
I
doesn't want my soul. He doesn't want my
no,
soul.
no.
You know?
That's bullshit. I hate it when people. I hate it. Well, it's this. I don't hate it, but it. Well, I do hate it. Yeah, fuck, I hate it so much. But um, it's very disappointing when a Christian, because I'm gonna just say this, 'cause a lot of Christians come on my TikTok channel and say some shit like some stupid ass shit, and that is so disappointing to me, because I'm sitting there thinking you don't even know, you have no fucking clue, and you're not supposed to apparently because you're in the path that you're right now. But Belial, no, Belial doesn't want your soul. Lucifer don't want your soul. Satan doesn't want your soul. None of these entities want your fucking soul unless they're an entity that are like truly just trying to cause you harm. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there are some entities out there
The
that do
only
try
that
to
want your
cause.
soul are the entities that are the figureheads of the mainstream religions, like
Hmm.
Yahweh, Allah, fucking like these
Yep.
guys demand your soul.
Yeah,
Satan
they
doesn't
do.
want your soul. Belial doesn't want your soul. Lucifer doesn't want your soul. Shemyaza doesn't want your soul. They want you to get off your fucking knees and stand up and learn to become God-like. They want to teach you how to become like them, like the
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, and it's so hard on the subject of being godlike because I had so many questions. I'm like, Belial, if I'm on the path of godhood, and I asked him this before, then why the fuck can I not do what some a godly person could do? Like if I want to just lights off, why the fuck is it not working? And so he would say like something simple, and he would just kind of like I'll sit back and think, uh, well, no shit, we're in a physical body, you know, we have finite minds. It's not something we can just comprehend. If I was in the astral realm, I'm fucking sure I might be able to gather enough energy to affect the physical realm, you know, if I'm soul traveling or some shit. But, you know, because I heard stories about people in the astral realm that you think of something, you can manifest it right then and there. Uh, so I'm thinking, why can't we do that here? It's like, no, it's simple. It's harder. It's real harder. You
Yeah.
know, it's not this isn't the realm to just snap your fingers and then you have some shit right in front of your face. it takes time. You have to have the avenues within your life, and you have to let the energy do its thing, and you have to completely fucking forget about what you're trying to accomplish through magic. And sometimes it was just through times when I was really frustrated, like like me, because I lost my license. And this is one thing I want to talk about is Belial as the angel of lawlessness. Um, uh, have you ever? I'm sure you heard Belial and in this form, or even another name that he's known by, which is Matan Buches, or you could also pronounce it Matan Buches. I mean, it was hidden. That's another name he's by is Matan Buches, and I didn't realize this until he it was in front of our faces. If you have Michael W. Ford's book, he has that name in his book. Um, the Bible of the Adversary, or I'm pretty sure other books, but the name was real hidden. And then there's one day I was reading through and I was like, Matan Buches. What the fuck is that? So I look it up and I read a little story about it. And it said that I think in the Bible script, if I can remember correctly, he was an angel in heaven that could bring healing. Like he was real good at doing healing. But in order to receive his healing, you had to go through pain and pleasure. Um, but he was a very deceiving angel. And then he rebelled, and I think he just like he became a fallen angel at that point. Um, but I would have to like to get the whole story right, read it. But I know the pain and pleasure and healing part was what is correct, and that I like to apply within my own path working is within my standards, not just spiritually but physically too. Is when I'm fucking working out or I'm going to the gym, all that pain that I'm fucking feeling, I'm transmuting into my passion to do to be a businessman, to be a fucking salesman, to grow in my spiritual path. And so you can gain some sort of healing with that through your wounds, through your like any insecurities, if you're trying to build confidence, you know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Okay.
Um,
I'll say everything you just said right there is kind of complex. It might make sense to me. It might not make sense to everybody. Yeah, like you just threw out a lot of fucking bullets right there. Um, so the term Belial. They say that the original pronunciation is Belial, and that they coined it as Belial in order to incorporate the word lie into his name. And it says in the Key of Solomon that this spirit stands not one moment in the truth unless he is constrained in order to do so. Well, I will also say that there is no motherfucker on the face of the earth that can constrain Belial. And Belial, or Belial, whatever you want to call him, he has never lied to me, not once. He has been the most brutally honest motherfucker that I've ever worked with. He's the first entity I ever made contact with. It took me 3 days of evoking him nonstop in order to get his attention and have him answer my call. And he has never steered me wrong. And he has told me things that I did not want to believe. I did not want to believe. I'm like, no, please. I got down on my knees. I'm like, no, don't, please don't. And he's just like, you're fucked if you don't listen to me. And I didn't listen to him, and I was fucked, just like he said.
you're
So
fucked.
yeah.
No, I like that. That's very. I heard you had experience with the law with Belial. Um, this is one of the angel like I had okay recently. So listen, I got in a car crash, and Belial and his lessons. Belial's lessons is very big. Belial likes to give you lessons. I'm gonna say that right now. Belial and his lessons are fucking huge. And one of these lessons was I got my first car, got my license, because at the time, I didn't have a license. My vocabulary was shit. I was lazy with my words. Um, I can name it on. But Belial literally pushed me to 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 elevate, to grow accordingly to my words and everything and how I speak. And I studied the driver's ed book so I can get my license, and I was able to get my license. And my first car, I was driving to pick up my wife coming back from Canada. We get in a car crash. The car uh spins around, and then we flip 3 fucking times. My wife has scars. I had a fractured chest. My dad was in the car and he flew. Okay, so it was, Eldoria flew out the fucking window, the back window. My dad flew in the very back and he's paralyzed in the very back of the seat while I'm just fucking sitting there and we hit this fucking tree. And I get up and I fucking scream. I'm like, babe, babe. And I'm screaming, babe. And then I didn't give a shit about my chest, nothing. I was hurting, but the adrenaline was going. I got the fuck up and I screamed, babe. And I look in the back and I'm thinking she's there. And the first thought in my head was is she fucking dead, you know? And I don't see her in the back. She's not in the back. So I slammed the door open. I'm running. I'm fucking screaming, babe. She's perfectly fine. Just a little scratches on her back. I'm like, oh, goodness. And I start laughing. I just start cracking up laughing. And one of these reasons is because first off, I give some devotional, like some protection prayers. I pray to some entities to protect us on our drive. Like 3, 4 different entities. I pray to Santa Claus. I prayed to the 9 demonic gatekeepers. Just please make this go right and please protect us. And Belial too, keep the fucking law away from us. And I think that gathered up so much energy that they're like, okay, you want to be protected, then we have to give you a reason in order for you to be protected, you know? So here's your fucking car crash. Now you're protected. None of you died. And that's one of the things that I thought, that I was thinking. But I was getting used to, like, before we go on this trip, I was driving one day and I was like, this car is just a big toy. Driving, it's just a big fucking toy, like a go-kart. I'm driving this shit. And that was where I went wrong. Because Bilal was like, no, no, we're not having that. You're not gonna think of a car as a fucking toy. Because it's not. It's actually the deadliest machine. And so he straightened that out by the car crash. But it was also initiation too. Um, that part I really don't know what the initiation. I believe it was a initiation. And like you just get it some initiations to where uh your ascent or goes higher, like within your path. You get initiated into like more of a advanced energy and spirituality and invocation and evocations. That's what I think this was too. So it was many things along with lessons. And so now my car, so I have a new car, but now my license says suspended my license. And this car thing happened a year ago. They suspended my license. And so I was driving. No shit, I was fucking driving at a delivery. I was a delivery driver. I don't have any insurance on my car. My license suspended. I have cops pulling behind me without pulling me over. And this is all thanks and hail to Belial because I asked him for his protecting. I actually used the new sigil that Connor has, the seal of the antiverse, and I summon forth all the powers and energies, spiritually and physically responsible, or actually I said I summoned all the powers and forces of Belial and all the powers and energies of Belial in order to of lawlessness and of spiritual and physical invisibility and protection. And I put that seal in my car, and it's still in there too. And I'm driving everywhere, and and perfectly fine, perfectly fine. He protected me so fucking good, so good. And that is, and within that experience, he gave me so many different lessons. Like, I needed better driving experience, and I got that by delivering. I needed to I needed new opportunities to see new and different perspectives. I needed new people in my life, and all of these things led to where I am now within my life. And now I know what my passion is, and that's being a fucking salesman. You know, that's being able to that's being a businessman to make fucking money. You know what I mean? That, and not only that, but by doing this, transforming physically and spiritually and mentally all together. And this is all leading into the path working of into the current of Belial. I like to say is his current, and my path working doesn't just dwell spiritually on rituals and magic, but physically too. Because you have to master earth, and that's something he's been teaching me. You have to master earth first before you can master the fit or the spiritual. Um, you gotta get your mundane life straightened out before you start doing, going deeper in spirituality, at least with me. Um, and another thing is, what I want to talk about, how Belial possesses you out of nowhere. Have you ever had that where Belial just possesses you out of nowhere, like out the blue? I had that in different, not too many experiences with this, but experiences to where he would just possess me, not like in full possession or anything like that, but just like a subtle possession to where he he just gives me a download of fucking information um about understanding. He said something that he would speak to you in a riddle. And what he did to me was, in order to understand something is to, like, this was the riddle. Very confusing. He said to understand something is to understand in order to fully understand. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
I don't know, man.
So I was like, but what it means is, to understand something spiritually, or is essentially being enlightened, right? You have to like you have to be enlightened many times, because sometimes we forget shit, and sometimes we just don't fully understand the complex shit and the vast things spiritually. So what he was saying is, you're going to be enlightened many times in order to know, to fully know, if that makes sense. Like having the knowledge, like, to just know something. Like, for example, I'm gonna give an example. Your auric field, to understand your auric field and to just know how your auric field works, is your every thought. Like, let's say every negative thought you may have, if it's a constant thought, is going to go into your auric field, and your auric field will expand into source, and through the source code, it's going to come back into your life. And that's something that I've learned and I've experienced. So that's he's shown me these things in possessions out of nowhere. Have you had experiences like that at all?
I've had experiences with spontaneous possession by Belial. Ever since I first made contact with him, I essentially essentially offered myself as a living sacrifice unto Belial. And then I tattooed his sigil on my back. And ever since then, Belial has essentially had free reign to come through me at any time that he sees fit. So,
Like a vessel or like a catalyst, right? Not
yeah,
to like, yeah, not
I
to
mean,
interrupt, but
it's like your body becomes an open conduit
yes,
for,
yes, yeah.
but yeah, I mean, that's when everything changed for me when I first made contact with him. Everything changed like literally overnight, and now I am where I am today, and I'm doing what I'm doing today. And when I look back, it still blows my fucking mind.
Mhm.
And you know, my phone here is about to die, and we've been on for a little bit over an hour, so we're gonna wrap up the podcast here pretty quick. But man, Damon, like it's been awesome to have you on, bro. Like, do you have any thoughts or anything you want to leave the audience with before we wrap this up?
Well, I want to keep it short, not really much, but uh, everyone, if you really want to transform your life, anyone that may be watching or seeing, um, hire us, contact us at Creators in the Flesh, GDS and GSS, and experience the guidance of the Infernal Empire and the vast knowledge and transformation spiritually, mentally, and physically in these spell castings, and also to use our products, our magical elixirs and oils, because they will help your ritual environment and they will help your spells overall. And that's all I gotta say. And Infernal Dark Blessings.
Oh yeah, brother. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to put the links to Damon's website, product, his Facebook page, his email. I'm going to put all that in the description. Definitely hit him up. I've used his oils that he sent me, and him and his beautiful wife Eldoria have been long-term friends of mine, and I fully endorse their products and the work that they do. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for brother for coming on. Hail the Infernal Empire.